There are still places on Earth where time seems to stand still, where the relentless march of civilization has never set foot, and nature reigns in its purest, wildest form. Here the elements rule with untamed ferocity. Torrential rains flood the forest floor, rivers swell and burst their banks, and lightning splits the sky, illuminating the endless green canopy. The Darién Gap is one of these rare sanctuaries, a vast, impenetrable expanse of jungle and swamp, stretching between Panama and Colombia, forming a living wall of wilderness. Here the forest is a labyrinth of tangled roots and towering trees, where even the faintest trace of a path is quickly reclaimed by the relentless growth of the jungle. Within this emerald fortress, secrets abound. Creatures move in silence beneath the dense canopy, their lives unfolding in the shadows, hidden from all but the most patient observer. The air is thick with humidity, every breath heavy with the scent of earth and growing things. Insects fill the air, their wings catching the sunlight as they dance in the beams that pierce the leafy ceiling. To enter the Darién Gap is to step into a world unchanged for millennia, a living relic of the age of giants, where the forest itself feels ancient and eternal. Towering trees rise like pillars, their trunks wrapped in thick vines and festooned with orchids, forming a cathedral of green that soars high above the forest floor. Below, the ground is a mosaic of roots and fallen leaves, alive with the furtive movements of creatures, tiny mammals, reptiles, and insects, each perfectly adapted to this shadowy world. The Darién Gap is a vital bridge for wildlife, a corridor that has allowed animals to move between continents for countless generations, shaping the very fabric of life in the Americas. Here, species meet and mingle, evolving new forms and behaviors in a crucible of competition and cooperation, their stories written in the patterns of fur, feather, and scale. Standing amidst this wildness, one is struck by the sheer scale of life, an unbroken expanse of green, stretching as far as the eye can see, untouched by the hand of civilization. The Darién Gap sprawls across thousands of square kilometers, its mountains and valleys cloaked in a dense, unyielding forest that few have ever truly seen. Rivers snake through the jungle, their waters both lifeline and hazard, carving deep channels and creating ever-changing landscapes for the creatures that depend on them. The jungle is never silent. The guttural roars of howler monkeys reverberate through the treetops, a primal chorus that marks the territory of these arboreal giants. A sudden crack of a branch signals the passage of an unseen animal, perhaps a jaguar on the prowl or a tapir moving cautiously through the undergrowth. As dusk falls, the forest comes alive with the calls of frogs, their voices rising in a symphony that echoes through the humid air, signaling the shift from day to night. Every creature here is finely attuned to the rhythms of the forest, moving with caution and purpose, ever alert to the dangers and opportunities that each day brings. Life in the Darién Gap is a constant struggle, a daily contest between predator and prey where only the most adaptable survive. Each animal must navigate a world filled with hidden threats, from stealthy hunters to sudden floods, and the ever-present challenge of finding food and shelter. Predators stalk the shadows, while parasites lurk in every corner, each playing their part in the intricate web of life. Competition is fierce, food is scarce, and every meal is hard-won, with animals vying for the same precious resources. The very isolation that has preserved the Darién Gap's wildness also makes it a place of hardship, where only the strongest and most resourceful can endure. Yet it is here, in this crucible of adversity, that nature's most dramatic stories unfold, epic confrontations, astonishing displays of resilience, and the relentless drive to survive, all playing out in one of the last true wildernesses on Earth. Deep within the tangled heart of the Darién Gap, a world unfolds where survival is a daily contest, and the balance of life is maintained by some of the most elusive and formidable predators on Earth. Here, every shadow and every rustle in the undergrowth could signal the presence of a hunter or the desperate flight of prey. At the pinnacle of this wild hierarchy stands the jaguar, a creature of mythic power and silent grace. The jaguar is not merely a hunter, it is the living embodiment of the rainforest's raw, untamed spirit. With each step, the jaguar melts into the shadows, its movements calculated and deliberate. It reads the forest like a living map, attuned to the faintest tremor of a branch or the subtle shift of a leaf. This is a predator that relies on patience and intelligence, using the dense foliage as both shield and stage for its deadly ballet. Its coat, a tapestry of golden rosettes, is more than beautiful. It is a masterwork of camouflage. Dappled sunlight filters through the canopy, breaking up the jaguar's outline and rendering it nearly invisible to both prey and rival predators. The jaguar's hunting style is a study in patience. It may wait for hours, motionless and unseen, as it observes a herd of peccaries or a solitary capybara. Every muscle is coiled, every sense heightened, as it waits for the perfect moment to unleash its explosive power. When the time comes, the jaguar strikes with astonishing speed and precision. Unlike other big cats, it targets the skull, delivering a single crushing bite that ends the struggle instantly. This unique technique allows it to hunt armored reptiles and large mammals alike, making it a true apex predator. But the drama of predation is not confined to the forest floor. High above, in the labyrinth of branches and vines, another specialist stalks its domain. The margai, a small and secretive wildcat, is the undisputed acrobat of the canopy. Its world is one of perpetual twilight, where agility and cunning are the keys to survival. The margai's ankles can rotate a full 180 degrees, a rare adaptation that allows it to descend trees head first and navigate the vertical world with ease. It moves with the confidence of a creature born to the treetops, leaping from branch to branch in pursuit of prey. Here the margai hunts birds, lizards, and even monkeys, using its agility to outmaneuver prey that would be unreachable to most other predators. Each hunt is a test of balance and timing, a silent contest played out in the shifting shadows of the canopy. In a display of remarkable intelligence, margai have been observed mimicking the distress calls of baby monkeys. This vocal deception lures curious adults closer, drawing them into a carefully laid trap. Such cunning strategies reveal the depth of the margai's adaptability and the complexity of its interactions with other rainforest inhabitants. Every hunt is a blend of instinct and learned behavior, a testament to the margai's ability to read its environment and exploit every opportunity the jungle provides. Yet not all of the Darién's most formidable predators are large or fearsome in appearance. On the forest floor, a different kind of hunter lurks, one whose power lies in its vivid colors and chemical defenses. The poison dart frog, a living jewel, flashes its warning colors to all who cross its path. These hues are not for show, they are a clear signal to would-be predators that danger lies within. Armed with potent neurotoxins, the poison dart frog is a master of chemical warfare. Its skin secretes toxins capable of paralyzing or killing any animal foolish enough to ignore its warning. Even the most determined predator learns to avoid these tiny amphibians. The secret to the frog's power lies in its diet. By consuming certain species of ants and mites, it accumulates toxins that are then stored in its skin, transforming a harmless meal into a potent defense. Each ant or mite consumed adds to the frog's arsenal, making it a living example of how interconnected the rainforest's food web truly is. In the absence of these specific insects, the frog loses its toxicity, a reminder that even the smallest creatures are shaped by the intricate relationships that define their world. From the mighty jaguar to the nimble margai and the vibrant poison dart frog, each predator plays a vital role in the rainforest's grand design. Their lives are woven together in a tapestry of competition, adaptation, and survival. The jaguar's presence keeps herbivore populations in check, preventing overgrazing and allowing the forest to flourish. Its influence ripples outward, shaping the very structure of the ecosystem. The margay, with its mastery of the canopy, regulates the numbers of arboreal prey, ensuring that no single species dominates the treetops. Its silent patrols maintain the delicate balance above the forest floor. Even the poison dart frog, though small, is a crucial player. By preying on insects, it helps control populations that might otherwise overwhelm the forest's resources, and in turn it becomes prey for those few animals immune to its toxins. Every ambush, every chase, every narrow escape is a thread in the fabric of the rainforest. These dramatic moments are not just spectacles. They are the vital processes that sustain this vibrant, ever-changing wilderness, where predator and prey are forever locked in a dance as old as the forest itself. From the dense, tangled jungles of the Americas, where every shadow hides a secret, we journey to the boundless, sun-drenched plains of Africa's Serengeti, a land where the struggle for existence is written in every blade of grass and every heartbeat. This iconic landscape, a world apart from the impenetrable Darién Gap, is a living sea of grass stretching endlessly beneath a sky that seems to go on forever. Here survival is a daily test, and every creature is both hunter and hunted. The Serengeti is nature's grandest stage, where the most gripping dramas unfold in the open. Every day, the cycle of life and death plays out in full view, a relentless contest where only the most adaptable endure. For the herds of zebra and wildebeest, the rules are stark and unforgiving. Find food, find water, and remain ever vigilant, for danger is never far away. Every mouthful of grass, every sip at a waterhole is a calculated risk. The air is thick with anticipation, a constant tension that electrifies the plains. Predator and prey are locked in an ancient dance, each adapting in real time, one to outwit, the other to escape. At the pinnacle of this ecosystem reign the lions, undisputed monarchs of the savannah. Their presence alone can shift the balance of power, and their every move is watched by all. Lions live in tightly knit prides, where survival depends on cooperation and social bonds. Each member has a role, and the strength of the group is their greatest weapon. The lionesses, masters of stealth and strategy, are the pride's primary hunters. With silent communication and flawless coordination, they stalk their quarry, wildebeest, buffalo, and more, using the tall grass as cover. Each hunt is a symphony of roles. Some lionesses drive the prey into carefully laid traps, while others lie in wait, poised for the perfect moment to strike. Success means a feast, failure means hunger and another day of risk. The males, with their imposing manes and powerful frames, are the pride's guardians. Their vigilance keeps rivals at bay and ensures the safety of cubs and territory alike. Their thunderous roars echo across the plains, a warning to all who would challenge their domain. This vocal display is both a deterrent and a declaration, marking the boundaries of their realm. Yet the lions are not alone in their quest for dominance. The Serengeti is home to a host of formidable hunters, each with their own unique adaptations. The spotted hyena, often dismissed as a scavenger, is in fact a cunning and highly effective predator. Its survival depends on intelligence, teamwork, and an unyielding persistence. Hyenas live in large, matriarchal clans where the dominant females lead with authority. Their social structure is complex, and their cooperation rivals that of the lions. Their jaws are among the most powerful in the animal world, capable of shattering bone to access the rich marrow within, a vital adaptation for survival in a land where every resource is fiercely contested. With a hunting success rate that can reach 70%, hyenas are relentless competitors. They often challenge lions for their kills, using numbers and strategy to tip the scales in their favor, proving that dominance is not just about strength, but also about adaptability and resolve. Then there is the cheetah, a marvel of evolution, the embodiment of speed and precision. Its entire body is built for the chase, every muscle and sinew honed for explosive acceleration. In a breathtaking display, the cheetah can surge from a standstill to 60 miles per hour in a mere seconds. This blinding speed is its greatest asset, allowing it to close the gap on fleet-footed prey in the blink of an eye. Each hunt is a gamble, a blur of motion, dust, and adrenaline. The cheetah must time its sprint perfectly, targeting the weakest or most isolated gazelle or wildebeest calf, for even a moment's hesitation can mean failure. But this extraordinary speed comes at a steep price. The chase is so taxing that it can only last for seconds, leaving the cheetah vulnerable and exhausted, its fate hanging in the balance as it recovers in the grass. Every hunt is a high-stakes contest, a razor's edge between triumph and defeat. In this theatre of life and death, survival is never guaranteed, and every adaptation, every instinct, is put to the ultimate test. Here in the wild heart of the Serengeti, the struggle for life is both brutal and beautiful, a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of the animal kingdom. In the heart of the Serengeti, the raw power of nature is on full display, nowhere more so than during the Great Migration, a phenomenon that embodies the unstoppable forces shaping our planet. This is not merely a movement, but a living, breathing current of life. Millions of wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles surging across the endless grasslands in a relentless circular odyssey. Over 1.5 million wildebeest, joined by hundreds of thousands of zebras and gazelles, are compelled by ancient instincts, following the rhythm of the rains and the promise of fresh grazing. This is a journey dictated by the pulse of the earth itself. The magnitude of this migration defies imagination, a living tide that stretches from horizon to horizon, a force so vast it seems to reshape the very landscape. This is more than a journey. It is a river of life carving its path through the savannah, sculpting the ecosystem with every hoofbeat and every breath. Within this unstoppable flow, the story of birth unfolds on a scale few places on Earth can rival. In the southern reaches of the Serengeti, from January to March, the plains become a nursery. Here, a synchronized birthing event transforms the grasslands as hundreds of thousands of calves take their first breaths. In just 3 weeks, over 500,000 wildebeest calves are born, their arrival timed to the abundance of fresh grass and the safety of numbers. This synchronized birthing is a masterstroke of evolution, a strategy designed to overwhelm the ever-watchful predators that shadow the herds. With more than 8,000 calves born each day, even the most formidable hunters, lions, hyenas, and cheetahs, are unable to keep pace with the abundance of new life. For each newborn, the first moments are a test of survival. The struggle to stand, to find balance, and to run is a race against time and the ever-present threat of predation. Within minutes, a calf must master its legs, for the shadow of danger is never far, and only the swiftest and strongest endure. It is a harsh beginning, where the relentless forces of nature show no mercy, and survival is reserved for the fortunate few. Every step of the journey is fraught with peril, hidden dangers lurking in the tall grass, the ever-watchful eyes of predators, and the unforgiving terrain. As the herds press northward, they confront one of the most formidable challenges in the natural world, the river crossings. The Grumeti and Mara rivers stand as barriers, their steep banks and swirling waters concealing some of Africa's most ancient and patient predators. Beneath the surface, Nile crocodiles, relics of a prehistoric age, some reaching 20 feet in length, wait in silence, attuned to the vibrations of the approaching herds. When the wildebeest surge into the water, chaos erupts. The river becomes a maelstrom of splashing hooves and desperate energy. Crocodiles explode from the depths, their jaws snapping shut with bone-crushing force, seizing the unwary in a display of primal power. Thousands will not survive the crossing, claimed by the currents, the jaws of crocodiles, or the exhaustion of the journey. Yet this spectacle is more than a struggle for survival. It is the heartbeat of the Serengeti, sustaining a web of life that stretches far beyond the herds themselves. The constant grazing of the herds keeps the grasslands healthy. Their droppings enrich the soil, and their presence provides sustenance for countless predators and scavengers. The Great Migration is a living testament to the interconnectedness of all life, a symphony of survival and adaptation orchestrated by the forces of nature. Every moment of this epic journey, from the miracle of birth to the peril of the river crossings, fuels the Serengeti's eternal cycle, ensuring that the wild drama of this ancient land endures untouched and unstoppable. Africa's rivers are more than just sources of water. They are arenas of conflict and survival, ruled by giants. The hippopotamus, the third heaviest land animal, is a perfect example. Despite its herbivorous diet of grass, the hippo is one of the most aggressive and dangerous animals in Africa. During the day, they congregate in crowded pools to keep their sensitive skin cool, but these gatherings are often tense. Dominant bulls fiercely defend their territories and their harems, leading to brutal, bloody fights where their massive canine teeth, which can grow up to 20 inches long, become lethal weapons. The undisputed apex predator of these waterways is the Nile crocodile. This colossal reptile is a living dinosaur, a perfectly evolved killing machine. It can weigh up to 2,000 pounds and possesses a bite force of 5,000 psi, one of the most powerful in the animal kingdom. Crocodiles are masters of the ambush, lying motionless for hours, often mistaken for logs, as they wait for unsuspecting prey to come to the water's edge. During the Great Migration, they are at their most formidable, using their explosive power to drag fully grown wildebeest into the water, where they perform their infamous death roll to dismember their prey. But the power of these river giants is not just destructive, it is also creative. The hippopotamus plays a vital role as an ecosystem engineer. Each night, a single hippo can consume up to 88 pounds of grass. When it returns to the water in the morning, its dung acts as a powerful fertilizer, releasing essential nutrients that support fish populations and the entire aquatic food web. In this way, the hippo's daily routine is crucial for the health of the river, connecting the terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems in a fundamental way and sustaining countless other species. Even the largest land animal on Earth, the African elephant, must bow to the power of water, or rather the lack of it. In arid regions like the Olduvai Gorge, elephants display incredible intelligence and strength to find this precious resource. Using their trunks, which contain over 40,000 muscles, and their powerful feet, they can dig deep into dry riverbeds to access underground water sources. These elephant-dug wells become oases in the dry season, providing life-saving water for a multitude of other animals, from giraffes to warthogs. It's a profound act of community service, showcasing how one species' struggle for survival can benefit an entire ecosystem. River otters, though smaller in size, are agile and playful, adding a dynamic energy to the river ecosystem. Their presence indicates a healthy river as they rely on abundant fish and clean water to thrive. The fish themselves are a testament to the river's vitality, with countless species creating a vibrant underwater world. Birds, too, are drawn to these waters, their songs and calls adding to the symphony of life that thrives along the riverbanks. The kingfisher, with its dazzling colours and precision hunting skills, is a striking example of the river's avian inhabitants. As the sun sets, the river transforms, its golden waters reflecting the interconnected lives that depend on its flow. Under the cover of night, a new cast of characters emerges, each playing their part in the river's endless cycle of life. From the smallest fish to the largest mammal, the river is a lifeline, a testament to the resilience and interdependence of nature's creations. The animal kingdom is a realm of endless surprises, where the most extraordinary adaptations and behaviors unfold in the wildest corners of the earth. Here, survival often depends on the most unexpected quirks, ingenious solutions honed by evolution over countless generations. Consider the capybara, a gentle giant of the South American wetlands and the world's largest rodent. With their barrel-shaped bodies and calm demeanor, capybaras are perfectly at home along the riverbanks and marshes. These sociable creatures thrive in large groups, often seen basking in the sun or gliding through the water with effortless grace. Their semi-aquatic lifestyle allows them to escape predators and keep cool under the blazing sun. Yet their most remarkable adaptation is a behavior known as coprophagy, eating their own feces. While it may seem unappealing, this habit is a masterstroke of survival. By reconsuming their droppings, capybaras give their digestive systems a second opportunity to break down the tough fibrous plants that make up their diet, extracting every possible nutrient from their food. This adaptation is essential for their survival in environments where food can be coarse and difficult to digest, turning what seems like a flaw into a vital strength. Deep within the rainforests, another marvel of adaptation is at work, one that transforms the forest floor into a bustling hub of activity. Leafcutter ants, tireless and organized, march in endless lines, each carrying a fragment of leaf many times its own weight. But these leaves are not for eating. Instead, the ants meticulously chew the leaves into a soft pulp, building vast compost gardens deep underground. On these carefully tended beds, a unique fungus flourishes, nourished by the leaf pulp and cared for by the ants. This fungus is the ant's sole food source, a delicacy cultivated with precision and dedication. The relationship between ant and fungus is a masterpiece of mutual benefit, a living system that has thrived for millions of years, showcasing the astonishing complexity of life beneath the forest floor. Communication in the wild is just as inventive, with some species developing truly peculiar ways to coordinate and survive. The African wild dog, a striking predator of the savanna, is renowned for its tightly knit social structure and remarkable teamwork. Before embarking on a hunt, the pack gathers in a lively ritual, greeting, nuzzling, and jostling, their energy building in anticipation. But the decision to hunt is made in a most unusual way, by sneezing. Each sneeze is a vote, a signal in the wild dog's unique language. When enough dominant members sneeze, the pack surges forward, united in purpose and ready for the chase. This democratic sneeze-based system ensures that every hunt is a coordinated effort, maximizing their chances of success, sometimes reaching an astonishing 80%. Even the familiar giraffe, towering above the savanna, is a marvel of adaptation, with features as peculiar as they are effective. To reach the most nutritious leaves high in the acacia trees, giraffes wield their astonishingly long prehensile tongues, stretching up to 18 inches. These tongues are not only long but also tough and leathery, perfectly adapted to navigate the acacia's formidable thorns without injury. This specialized feeding technique grants giraffes access to a food source few others can reach, while their browsing helps shape and maintain the health of the savanna's trees. From the smallest ant to the tallest giraffe, nature's quirkiest survivors reveal that every oddity has a purpose, each adaptation a testament to the boundless creativity of life itself. Our journey now takes us to the frozen landscapes of the Arctic, a world of ice and snow that presents one of the most extreme environments on Earth. Here, survival is a constant battle against the cold, and the animals that live here are some of the most resilient on the planet. The undisputed lord of this realm is the polar bear, the world's largest land carnivore. Perfectly adapted for life on the sea ice, its thick blubber and dense fur provide insulation, while its massive paws act like snowshoes. The polar bear is a patient and powerful hunter, relying on the ice as its platform to hunt seals. The waters of the Arctic may be frigid, but they are teeming with life, much of it bizarre and wonderful. The Atlantic wolfish is a creature that seems to defy the laws of biology. It lives in these freezing waters year-round by producing a natural antifreeze in its blood, a special protein that prevents ice crystals from forming in its cells. This incredible adaptation allows it to thrive in temperatures that would be lethal to most other fish. In another display of remarkable behavior, both the male and female wolfish will guard their clutch of eggs for months, a rare example of paternal care in the fish world. The Arctic summer brings a burst of life, and the cliffs of islands like Norway's Lofoten become bustling seabird cities. Among the most charming residents are the Atlantic puffins. These charismatic birds spend most of their lives at sea, but they come ashore to breed. Their most striking feature is their brightly coloured beak, but this vibrant display is only for the mating season. It's like a temporary costume. Once the season is over, the outer layer of the beak is shed, revealing a smaller, duller beak underneath. It's a fascinating transformation that highlights the importance of seasonal displays in the animal kingdom. Life in the Arctic is a story of extremes, of incredible adaptations and breathtaking struggles. From the polar bear's reliance on the shifting ice to the puffin's seasonal transformation, every creature has evolved a unique strategy to survive in this harsh yet beautiful world. Their lives are intimately tied to the rhythms of the ice and the seasons. As we witness their dramatic moments of hunting, breeding, and survival, we are reminded of the fragility of this frozen realm and the remarkable tenacity of the life that calls it home. For all their raw power and timeless beauty, the wild places we've explored are now beset by forces that threaten their very existence. Across continents and climates, the balance of nature is being tested as never before. Within these vibrant ecosystems, every creature, from the smallest insect to the apex predator, relies on a delicate web of life. When this web is disturbed, the consequences ripple outward, affecting every inhabitant. The Darién Gap, a fortress of green, has long shielded its inhabitants with dense foliage and tangled waterways. Here the rainforest's ancient trees stand as silent sentinels, sheltering a world of rare and secretive creatures. Yet even in this remote sanctuary, the rivers run thick with toxins. Mercury and other pollutants seep into the water, silently infiltrating the food chain. Fish, once abundant, now struggle to survive, and the great jaguar, master of this realm, finds its prey weakened and scarce. Invasive parasites, once unknown to these forests, now take hold. Native species, unprepared for these new adversaries, face illness and decline, their populations dwindling as the balance tips ever further from equilibrium. Far across the ocean, the Serengeti's golden plains stretch to the horizon. Here, the drama of life and death has played out for millennia, shaped by the rhythm of the seasons and the migrations of great herds. But the savanna is shrinking. Grasslands give way to encroaching brush, and the boundaries of wild territory grow ever tighter. The great herds of antelope and zebra find their ancient grazing grounds diminished, their journeys fraught with new obstacles. Predators like lions and hyenas, once rulers of vast domains, now compete fiercely for dwindling prey. Elephants and giraffes, icons of the savanna, must navigate a patchwork of fragmented habitat. Their movements restricted, their safety never assured. The wildebeest, whose migrations once thundered unimpeded across the plains, now face barriers that halt their progress. The ancient routes, etched into memory by generations, are interrupted, threatening the survival of both the herds and the predators that depend on them. In the far north, the Arctic's frozen expanse is a world of extremes, where life clings to the edge of possibility. Here the ice is both shield and sustenance, a foundation for an entire ecosystem, but the ice is vanishing. Each year it recedes faster, leaving open water where once there was only white. The animals of the Arctic, from the smallest plankton to the mighty polar bear, are left to adapt or perish. For the polar bear, the sea ice is a lifeline. It is the platform from which it hunts, the stage for its survival. As the ice thins and breaks apart, The bear's world shrinks, and each hunt becomes a desperate gamble. Seals, once plentiful, become harder to reach. The bear, driven by hunger, roams farther and farther, expending precious energy in a landscape that offers ever fewer rewards. Forced onto barren land, the polar bear faces starvation. The absence of ice means the absence of opportunity, and the bear's powerful frame grows gaunt as it searches for sustenance where there is none. The entire Arctic food web trembles. Plankton, the foundation of life here, dwindle as the ice retreats. Seals dependent on both plankton and ice decline in number, and the polar bear's fate is sealed to theirs. Across the globe, pollution seeps into rivers. Forests fall silent as trees are lost, and glaciers melt into memory. Each threat compounds the next, creating a cascade of challenges for the wild. These are not isolated events, but interconnected symptoms of a world in flux. The harmony that once defined these places is replaced by uncertainty and imbalance. The dramatic moments of survival we witness in the wild are growing ever more desperate. Animals are forced to adapt to challenges for which evolution has not prepared them. Their struggles more intense, their victories more fleeting. The jaguar lapping at a poisoned river, the giraffe navigating a fractured savanna, the polar bear marooned on a shrinking floe. Each is a living testament to the mounting crisis. Their resilience is remarkable, but the challenges they face are relentless, and the future of wild places hangs in the balance. Despite the immense challenges, the story of our planet's wildlife is not without hope. Across the globe, nature's resilience is on full display as animals and wild places fight to reclaim their space and restore balance. In the heart of the Serengeti, the African wild dog, once thought lost to these plains, emerges from the shadows. Packs move with silent coordination, weaving through tall grasses, their return a testament to the wild's ability to heal when given the chance. Deep in the jungle, a jaguar stalks its prey, each step a careful dance of survival. Along the riverbanks, wildebeest gather their ancient migration undeterred by the dangers that await. These moments are not just displays of instinct, they are acts of perseverance, the wild reclaiming its rhythm. Far to the north, a polar bear mother leads her cubs across melting ice, searching for solid ground. In the forests, new growth pushes through the soil, sunlight filtering through a canopy that has begun to recover from past scars. In every corner of the world, animals adapt and endure. Herds of antelope return to grasslands once barren. Birds nest in trees that have regrown, and rivers teem with life as wetlands recover their natural flow. These wild places are more than just backdrops for animal stories. They are living, breathing systems, regulating climate, purifying water, and nurturing a genetic library of life's solutions waiting to be discovered. The untouched rainforest, the endless savanna, the icy tundra, each is a sanctuary where nature's recovery unfolds. Here, the drama of survival plays out in silence and in song, in the rustle of leaves and the thunder of hooves. Elephants carve ancient paths through the forest, shaping the land as they have for millennia. Their movements open up clearings, allowing new plants to grow and other animals to thrive in their wake. Along the coasts, seabirds return to cliffs and islands, their calls echoing over waves. In the polar regions, seals and whales navigate shifting ice, adapting to a world in flux, their resilience a quiet defiance against the odds. In places where forests have regrown, lynx and wolves reclaim their territories, restoring the balance between predator and prey. Meadows once silent now hum with insects and the songs of returning birds. Even as climates shift, some species find new ways to survive. Salamanders burrow deeper, butterflies shift their migrations, and ancient trees send roots further in search of water. In the Arctic, caribou traverse snowy expanses, their hooves breaking trails for the next generation. Arctic foxes adapt their coats, blending into the changing landscape, ever resourceful. Every animal that returns, Every forest that regrows is a chapter in the story of natural recovery. These are victories written not by human hands, but by the wild itself. As the sun rises over rewilded lands, hope is renewed. The fight for conservation is, at its heart, a testament to the enduring power of nature to heal, to adapt, and to thrive, if only given the space and time. The wild endures, and in its recovery we glimpse the possibility of a future where life, in all its diversity, flourishes once more. This is the fight for conservation, a story written in paw prints, wing beats, and the quiet resilience of the natural world. As daylight fades and the world slips into twilight, a different drama awakens beneath the cover of darkness. In the wild, the night belongs to the secretive and the unseen, creatures whose lives unfold far from human eyes. This is their hour, a time when moonlight weaves silver threads across the forest floor, and every shadow becomes a stage for survival. In the dense rainforests, slow-moving kinkajous emerge from leafy hideouts, their golden eyes reflecting starlight as they glide from branch to branch in search of fruit and nectar. Far below, ocelots prowl with silent precision, their spotted coats melting into the dappled undergrowth. Each step is measured, every movement calculated as they stalk their prey through a world painted in shades of midnight blue. Out on the savannah the grass whispers with the passage of aardvarks, their long snouts rooting through soil in pursuit of termites. In the desert, fennec foxes bound across dunes, their oversized ears tuned to the faintest rustle of beetles beneath the sand. The night air hums with the chorus of crickets and the flutter of moth wings, each note a signal in the language of darkness. Above, the sky belongs to silent hunters, owls gliding on noiseless wings, their eyes piercing the gloom to catch the fleeting movement of a mouse or vole. Bats wheel through the night, mapping their world with bursts of echolocation, feasting on insects, invisible to all but them. In wetlands and along riverbanks, the eyes of caimans and crocodiles gleam above the water's surface, waiting in patient stillness. Frogs sing to the moon, their calls echoing through the cool night air, while fireflies drift like scattered embers among the reeds. Here, in this hidden world, every sense is sharpened, every adaptation honed for life in the dark. Bodies glow, eyes widen, and movements become poetry, an endless ballet choreographed by necessity and instinct. Nocturnal creatures thrive where others sleep, shaping the balance of their ecosystems in ways both subtle and profound. As dawn approaches, the night's performers retreat, vanishing into burrows, nests, and hollows. Their secrets linger in the hush before sunrise, whispered promises that life continues in every corner of the wild, even when no one is watching. In the endless rhythm of darkness and light, the wild endures, its mysteries deepening with every passing night. As the first blush of dawn brushes the horizon, the wild stirs with a restless energy. Invisible to the sleeping world, a silent signal passes through the air, the water and the earth, a call to move, to seek, to journey beyond the known. This is the season of migrations, where millions of creatures embark on epic odysseys, driven by instinct and guided by ancient maps written in the stars and tides. Across the endless plains, herds of wildebeest and zebras surge forward, hooves thundering in unison. Their migration is a spectacle of survival, crossing rivers teeming with crocodiles, braving storms, and outpacing hungry predators. Each step is a gamble, every crossing a test of endurance, yet together they form a living river, flowing across the savannah in pursuit of greener pastures. In the skies above, flocks of Arctic terns slice through the clouds, journeying from pole to pole, the longest migration in the animal kingdom. Their wings beat tirelessly, carrying them across oceans and continents, guided by the magnetic whispers of the earth. Below, monarch butterflies dance on the wind, a delicate tapestry of orange and black fluttering from Canada to the forests of Mexico. Their voyage spans generations. The butterflies that arrive are not the ones that set out, a living chain linking past and future. Beneath the waves, humpback whales sing their haunting songs as they glide through the deep blue, travelling thousands of miles between breeding and feeding grounds. Their massive bodies are etched with scars from battles and journeys past, each one a story in the long history of their kind. Along coral reefs, sea turtles navigate by moonlight, returning with uncanny precision to the very beaches where they were born, defying the odds with every stroke of their flippers. Far from prying eyes, caribou traverse the tundra. Salmon leap upstream in shimmering cascades, and dragonflies trace invisible highways across continents. Each migration is a testament to the resilience and unity of life, a reminder that the world's wild places are not isolated islands, but part of a vast interconnected web. No passport is needed here, no borders exist in the minds of these travelers. Their journeys shape the land, feed the forests, and fill the rivers with new life. As they move, they weave together the fabric of the wild, ensuring that the dance of life continues, season after season, year after year. In these great migrations, the planet breathes. It is a symphony of movement, a story without end, and a promise that, as long as the wild endures, the journey will go on. Beneath the surface of every wild landscape lies a tapestry more intricate than any migration, a network of life, woven from countless invisible threads. Here, in the hush of untouched wilderness, every creature, great or small, is both hunter and hunted, a player in a drama that unfolds without audience or applause. A single acacia tree stands in the savannah, its leaves nibbled by a browsing giraffe. But the story does not end there. Ants march in disciplined columns along its branches, defending their leafy home from hungry insects in exchange for sweet nectar. Above, a weaver bird's nest sways in the breeze, its chicks fed by parents who dart through the air, snapping up flies and beetles drawn to the tree's shade. In the rainforest, a troop of howler monkeys crashes through the canopy, scattering ripe fruit to the forest floor. Below, a tapir snuffles through the leaf litter, feasting on fallen bounty, while dung beetles roll away the leftovers, nourishing the soil for seeds that will someday become towering giants. Tiny fungi and microscopic bacteria labor unseen, breaking down the remains of plants and animals, returning their essence to the earth in a cycle that never ends. Along riverbanks, the drama continues. Fish dart through tangled roots, hunting insects that once fluttered on the breeze. Kingfishers flash blue and gold as they plummet into the water, while otters slip between the reeds, leaving only ripples in their wake. Each mouthful taken, every life ended, gives rise to new beginnings, energy flowing from one form to another, never wasted, always transformed. Even the apex predators are bound by these connections. A lion's hunt sets scavengers in motion, hyenas, vultures, jackals, each cleaning the bones and returning nutrients to the soil. Grass grows richer, herds grow strong, and the circle turns. Every link is vital. Remove one and the web trembles. The absence of wolves in a forest allows deer to multiply, stripping the land bare, while the return of a single apex predator can heal rivers and restore balance. These interdependencies are nature's blueprint, a symphony of cooperation, competition, and adaptation evolved over millennia. In these wild places, every life is a thread, and every thread is essential. Here, the story of survival is not written in isolation, but in the bonds that tie one creature to another, from the tiniest microbe to the mightiest beast. It is a reminder that in the wilderness, nothing truly stands alone. All are part of the same wondrous web, an endless dance of life spun beneath the open sky. As the sun arcs across the sky and shadows grow long, the wild world responds to a rhythm older than memory, the turning of the seasons. Here, in the realm of nature, no clock is needed. The whisper of a colder wind, the swelling of distant clouds, the lengthening days and cooling nights all signal a transformation that sweeps through every living thing. In the savannah, the grass is yellow and dry as the rains retreat. Herds of wildebeest gather, their instincts attuned to the scent of distant storms. With each step they follow ancient paths, seeking new pastures, their journey a race against thirst and hunger. Close behind, lions and cheetahs watch, adjusting their strategies as prey becomes scarce and the competition fierce. Deep in the temperate forests, the first chill of autumn triggers a flurry of preparation. Squirrels scurry among the branches, caching acorns and nuts in secret stashes, while bears gorge on berries and salmon, building reserves for the long sleep ahead. Birds fill the air with restless calls, forming swirling flocks that will soon vanish into the southern sky. In the polar tundra, the arrival of winter is absolute. Caribou herds drift like shadows across the snow, following the faint promise of lichen beneath the ice. Arctic foxes trade summer's brown coats for winter's ghostly white, blending into a world transformed by frost. In the heart of the forest, a lynx pads silently across frozen ground, its breath curling in the frigid air. Even the smallest creatures are shaped by the season's hand. Amphibians burrow deep into the mud, their hearts slowing to a near stop as they wait out the cold. Insects vanish from sight, leaving behind eggs or cocoons that will hatch when warmth returns. Life recedes but never disappears, each species holding tight to survival, each adaptation a testament to resilience. When the first rains fall or snow begins to melt, the world awakens. Rivers swell with new life, grass shoots push through thawing soil, and a chorus of frogs greets the dawn. For some it is a time to mate and raise young, for others a brief window to feed and grow before the next challenge arrives. These cycles shape every behavior and every fate. The struggle is never ending, but so is the renewal. In the wild, the seasons are more than weather. They are the pulse of life itself. Without a single human footstep, the great pageant continues, written in migration, metamorphosis, and the eternal promise of change. In the quietest corners of our planet, where ancient forests meet mist-shrouded mountains and rivers wind through untouched valleys, elusive survivors walk in silence. These are the rare and endangered, the last of their kind, living on the knife's edge between persistence and oblivion. Deep in the emerald heart of the cloud forest, the resplendent quetzal flits from branch to branch, its iridescent feathers catching the first light of dawn. Here it nests in hollow trees, feeding on wild avocados and fruit, its life entwined with the fate of the forest itself. One tree falls, one nest is lost, and the balance tips ever closer to vanishing. Beneath the canopy, the Amur leopard stalks through dappled shadows. With fewer than 100 remaining, every step is a calculated risk, every meal a battle against hunger. Its golden coat, patterned with dark rosettes, melts into the undergrowth, perfect camouflage for a world where danger is constant and prey is scarce. On distant islands, the kakapo, a flightless parrot cloaked in mossy green, emerges only after nightfall. It moves in slow, deliberate steps, trusting the shadows to hide it from predators. Its booming call echoes through the forest, a hopeful search for a mate in a dwindling population. In the rivers of Southeast Asia, the giant freshwater sawfish glides silently, its saw-like snout sensing the faintest movements in the murky water. It's a relic from another age, an ancient predator now hemmed in by shrinking habitat and silent threats lurking in the depths. Each of these species has evolved extraordinary survival strategies, cryptic coloration, nocturnal habits, specialized diets, and secretive behaviors. Their homes are strongholds, places of tangled roots, hidden burrows, and secret nests that protect them from the ever-present dangers of their world. Yet even in these strongholds, life is a delicate balance. A sudden storm, a failed hunt, or the loss of a mate can tip the scales. For the rarest of the rare, every egg laid, every cub born is a gamble against extinction. There are no human footprints here, only the traces of claw, feather, and fur. In these remote realms, nature's rarities endure, their stories written in the hush of the forest and the ripple of the river. They are the survivors in the shadows, holding on to existence with quiet determination, hoping that the world will always have a place for wonder. Hidden from human eyes, the wilderness is alive with communication, a silent symphony of signals and signs. Here every creature has a voice, even if it's not heard in words. In the tangled understory, a troop of howler monkeys sends deep guttural calls, reverberating through the trees. Their booming voices carry for miles, marking territory and keeping families connected across the dense green maze. High above, a flash of color, a male bird of paradise unfurls his plumage in an elaborate dance. Each feather's shimmer, every precise step, is a message to watching females, a display of health, strength, and genetic promise. In the grasslands, a herd of gazelles flicks their tails and stamp their feet. These subtle cues ripple through the group like a wave, warning of a lurking predator. The message is clear: danger is near, be ready to run. Beneath the surface, electric fish pulse gentle currents through murky waters. Their signals are invisible, a private code exchanged in darkness, used to find mates, navigate, and warn rivals to keep their distance. On the forest floor, a poisoned dart frog calls with a sharp rhythmic trill. His song cuts through the chorus of insects and birds, staking a claim to his patch of leaf litter and inviting a mate to join him. Even the silence holds meaning. A sudden hush, a pause in bird song tells of a shadow passing overhead, a hawk on the hunt. In these moments the absence of sound is a warning more urgent than any cry. Through colors and calls, scents and gestures, animals share knowledge of food, foes and family. Their signals shape the rhythm of life, from dawn's first song to the quiet conversations under moonlight. In this world, without words, the language of the wild is everywhere, written in patterns, echoed in calls, and carried on the wind. Here, communication is survival. And from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, every creature plays its part in nature's great conversation, a dialogue as old as life itself, unfolding in the endless wild. At the very top of the food chain, a select few reign as the silent regulators of the wild, apex predators. These masters of stealth and strength shape the world beneath them, unseen but never unfelt. In the shadowy heart of the rainforest, a jaguar glides through dappled light, its rosette-spotted coat melting into the undergrowth. With each silent step, it controls the fate of its domain, preying on the strong and the sick, keeping populations in check, and preventing any one species from tipping the delicate balance of the forest. On the savannah, a pride of lions fans out beneath the blazing sun. Their presence sends ripples of caution through herds of antelope and zebra. Every hunt is a test, a culling of the vulnerable, ensuring the herd remains swift, healthy, and alert. The fear they inspire shapes the behavior of prey, who graze more carefully, move more often, and avoid overgrazing any single patch of land. In this way, apex predators sculpt the very landscape, their influence felt in every blade of grass and every cautious glance. In the cold, clear rivers of the north, the silent glide of the wolf pack sets the rhythm for the entire ecosystem. Their pursuit of elk and deer not only keeps these populations balanced, but also allows young trees and shrubs to flourish in their absence. The return of wolves to a landscape is the return of equilibrium. Streams run clearer, forests grow thicker, and birds and insects multiply in the new shelter. Beneath the waves, the shadow of a great shark patrols the coral reef. Its presence keeps mid-level predators in check, allowing smaller fish and invertebrates to thrive. Without this apex guardian, the reef would collapse into imbalance, its colors and life fading into memory. Apex predators are the architects of stability. Without them, chaos creeps in. Prey populations explode, plants are overgrazed, and the intricate web of life begins to unravel. Though their numbers are few, their impact is immense, echoing through every level of the ecosystem. These lords of balance are not just hunters, they are guardians. Their survival means the survival of the wild itself, for in their strength lies the health of the whole. In every wild place, from forest to grassland, river to reef, the story of life is written by their presence, a silent, powerful force that keeps the world in harmony. Beneath the fierce contest for survival, a quieter force pulses through the wild. The art of partnership. In the tangled jungles, the savannas, and the depths of the oceans, life thrives not just through competition, but through cooperation, mutual aid, and remarkable alliances. High in the rainforest canopy, a tiny monkey plucks fruit, scattering bits and seeds below. At its side, a toucan waits patiently, ready to feast on the bounty. Their partnership is subtle. The monkey's restless foraging opens up food sources the bird could never reach, while the bird's sharp eyes alert the monkey to dangers lurking nearby. Together they share the spoils and the burdens of the jungle. On the African plains, a massive rhinoceros moves slowly through the grass, its thick skin a living landscape for the tiny oxpecker bird. The oxpecker picks away ticks and parasites, feasting on the rhino's pests while warning its host of approaching danger. The rhino, in turn, provides safety and sustenance, a living shield in a world of threats. Beneath the waves, a cleaner wrasse sets up shop at a coral cleaning station. Larger fish, even formidable predators, pause and hover, allowing the tiny wrasse to pluck away dead skin and parasites. For a brief moment, the rules of hunter and hunted are suspended, replaced by a contract of trust that benefits both. In the leafcutter ant colonies of the rainforest, the ants harvest leaves not to eat, but to feed a precious fungus deep below ground. The fungus is their true food source, thriving only with the ants' careful cultivation. In return, the fungus provides nourishment and the colony flourishes, a perfect partnership that has lasted for millions of years. Even the smallest creatures are bound by invisible threads, flowers and pollinators, clownfish and anemones, bats and fruit trees, all weaving a tapestry of cooperation that sustains the wild. These alliances are not acts of charity, but of necessity, forged by evolution and refined by time. In a world often painted as red in tooth and claw, it is these hidden partnerships, these quiet acts of trust that reveal nature's deepest secret. Survival is not just about outcompeting others, but about finding your place in a web of connection. In the wild, every life touches another, and together they endure.